Hey, you guys, Jim again. Everything looks good. So it's 12:34 p.m. my time on June 11th. So we're about 15 minutes out of sort of the bullseye zone um, on this 12:45 timestamp. If they do the same thing they did in front of this zone of strength and try to suppress it, then it'll just make this move on Monday morning, I think, even stronger and more ferocious. So this will be real interesting to see what happens here heading into the close. Um, Obviously, things are tracking, and I'm adjusting these price targets up the ladder as price sort of proves out that we're tracking properly. So just keep in mind that's the way I always do this. I'll start off with a lot of times I'll have the future zones of strength sitting sort of at the same price levels. But then as I see things start to play out and the trend start to prove itself, it's actually pretty easy, even if you just snap a trend channel, to sort of figure out where price would be if price tracks up into my zones of strength. You notice I adjusted the chart so that we could start to look at this 72.62 high. If this is as powerful as I think it is, it's a broad window, basically a 2-hour window. That would be 7:30 would be kind of a bullseye to the first ZOS, 9:30 to the second. I could reflect these as two separate timestamps if I wanted to, but this is sort of the way I do it to keep things from looking too messy. So the point is, though, that I'll show you guys something interesting. Obviously, retest levels are fast market attack levels. And what that means is, whereas a vibration level is born from a retest level, seeing price contact one time, and then it's sort of the residual flop after you get the contact. A retest happens really quickly. So even if you're like chopping up to it, the final move to retest it should be like a really rapid, $2 1 minute bar or something. I mean, they're really rapid moves. Now, assuming we track, and once we flop around, right, make contact, vibrate on 54.90, this move here, the interesting part about this is that I'm going to take you guys back in time to this green uptrend line that we tracked this morning. Now, we're not going to see the very beginning origins of it, just because I don't want to jack this chart up by showing the lower level prices, but this is good enough. I mean, you guys remember when I showed you this uptrend line. So you can see the nice contact. We fall out of it, right? Create a vibration level. But in the past videos, you guys may have heard me talk about a bull crawl, Bullcrawl, bull crawl. What it means is, if you break down out of an uptrend and then price is able to sort of stabilize on retest or vibrations, whatever it is that's coincident with the trend break, which is, consolidation. If it's able to snap the spine of the downtrend, recapture that vibration and start to form sort of bullish pattern on top of that, right? So a lot of times you'll see a double bottom, you'll see an inverse head and shoulders pattern somewhere around in here. If it starts to move up, it wants to do this bull crawl, so it's not one of those melt up fractals, but price inevitably wants to come and sort of like tap and bounce up. That's why I call it a bull crawl, because it's an uptrend. Bear crawls are the opposite, which I can show you guys down the road. Anyway, even though there's a decent amount of price distance between 54.90 and the all-time high 72.62, which we said, I guess June 2nd, I think it was. Even though there's a lot of space there, and probably as technicians look back in time, they would see what they perceive as price congestion, to where they would think it's a really choppy zone here. The fact that we're sort of setting up for this bull crawl could mean that we would get a really beautifully strong move between 54.90 and that 72.60 level. So anyway, first things first, this looks pretty encouraging. This is really the one that I'm most interested in on Monday. And, I don't follow news flow at all. You guys notice how quiet it is in here. I don't have the TV on. The only time I ever would turn on Bloomberg or CNBC is if the market's melting up or in a free fall. And I just sort of like to hear how wound up people are when they have guests on. It's just something I kind of track. But really, this is all I look at is my model. I can just tell you, though, that this setup here coming into Monday right here, it has the look of like either some kind of market problem on Sunday, or some kind of news flow. And it's kind of interesting to me because this, I sent a message out to the Global Pro subscribers on the S&P page. I think I also tweeted this out that my Dow my Dow futures model, Dow futures, is very bearish into Sunday trading, and that my cash model looks bearish next week, and that there's I think 3,150 point air pocket underneath the Dow right now. I'm not calling a crash. I'm just warning you guys that it's has a destabilizing look to it. If I'm right, something could hit over the weekend, and if we get a big move down in some of the widely held stocks, Apple's a component of the Dow 30, obviously, and a lot of the other high flyers are. If you get a big move down that catches some major funds by surprise, and they happen to be short AMC or some of these other stocks, a lot of times you'll see a spillover where it's sort of they need to raise cash levels, and they don't want to let loose of an Apple or whatever, right, for whatever reason. So they'll scramble to cover a short position someplace else to lower their overall exposure. And so there's just something about this setup that makes me think we might see something dislocation in some other kind of unrelated markets that AMC might benefit from, or some positive news flow from AMC. I don't follow it, but I've done this for so long. There's something about this time zone that really looks like it could be powerful. All right, that's it, you guys. All good news so far. It looks like while I was talking, we're moving up slightly. And what do we have? So we're 12:41 my time. So we're about 4 minutes away from the bullseye, and pretty close to this $50.60 vibration. And then, but this is really our focus on Monday. All right, good luck, you guys.